Hello everyone, this is Kevin, your autograph hound, and welcome to the first video of 2018. And even though it is January and no longer Christmas, I am wearing a Santa hat because this video is about autographs that I got as Christmas gifts. Now, some people might be asking about autographs as gifts, and I have to always tell people that you have to be very careful about autographs when you give them as gifts because you need to make sure you're buying from a reputable seller, you need to make sure they're authentic, and that can be a little tricky. Typically, unless it's authenticated somehow, it's not a good idea to get autographs for gifts. You just don't know if you're buying a fake or a real one unless you got it in person. There's really just no way of knowing, and I will make a separate video about what are some authentic places you can get autographs. But one of them is Barnes & Noble, and you've been noticing I've been showing a lot of signed books recently. And that's because Barnes & Noble every year does their autograph Black Friday sale, where they get signed books for the Black Friday sale, and then they kind of get spread around. And for the next few weeks, you're going to see videos of me going to Barnes & Noble's and hunting for the remaining books that have not been bought yet. First of all, I want to share because I got 3 signed books. They were all bought from Barnes & Noble. The people who got them for me confirmed that they were bought from Barnes & Noble, so I know they're reputable, and I want to share the autographs with you. And the first one is Unqualified by Anna Faris. And Anna Faris is an actress. She's been in movies like, The House Bunny, and she was married to Chris Pratt. I think she was also on Parks and Recreation. Does it actually say what she's in? I kind of feel like Anna Faris is one of those actresses that I know of, and I know they exist, but I can't actually really think about things that I've seen them in, even though I probably have. And as for the quality of the autograph, it's not one of those autographs that has its own special autograph page, as you can see. It's just a typical Sharpie autograph that's on the book. But on the positive side, you can read the name. So that comes a long way, and the signed copy stickers there. I kind of have mixed feelings about leaving the signed copy stickers on the books, but as they say, it kind of helps to keep the collection in check and organized, so to speak. The next book that I got for Christmas that was signed was one that I was definitely very happy to get. It was from a Newbery Award-winning author and for their book that they wrote. This is The Giver. Now, the thing about The Giver is that it's one of those books, and you've probably heard of it because they recently made a movie out of it. A movie that, in my opinion, wasn't very good, but it wasn't not good for not trying. It was not good because they probably went a little further than they needed to. The Giver is a very interesting book about a society that's basically pilled everyone and everyone thinks a certain way. And society functions, but they always pick one person to be the giver. They're the ones who holds the knowledge of everything, and they preserve the memories. And that comes with like a huge responsibility, huge burden when they kind of come to that realization, if you will, that they are doing some really terrible things, really, in the sake of peace and how the freedoms are really being restricted. And it probably seems more relevant now than when it did back then, but it obviously registered enough to get a Newbery Award, which is a very prestigious award for children's books. Now, I have to say, even though I am very happy with the book, I'm very happy to have it signed, if you look at the book, the autograph itself, it's one of the more disappointing autographs. As you can see, it's just very small. I mean, you can kind of read it, but it's really not the best autograph I've seen. And again, it doesn't come in one of those pages that lets you know this is an autograph, book, or this is an autograph page. So, you kind of have to take it on faith, if you will. But again, the person who got this for me got it at Barnes & Noble, and they have the signed sticker. These stickers are not sold in the stores. They're only provided to the stores, I should mention, so they are not allowed to put it on unless they are witnessing the book being signed. So, there you have it. And now the third autograph that I want to share today, and this is going to be the final one. I saved it for last because I was so shocked to get this, and I was very happy because this was one of the books that when they did the Black Friday sale, I always have like a budget list. Like, I have a budget, I go and I buy the books. And once I hit that limit, I stop. And This fell just outside that budget. Now, I probably had the money to, get it, to be honest, but I am very stringent about not going over budget on certain things, especially when it's something you don't really need. I definitely like collecting autographs. I love it and I want more, but I don't need them. So I budget for them for these situations. But when I put a couple of the books back, saying I would come back for them later. Now, a couple of them that I put back, I have been able to collect since then, and I will share them in future videos. But this one, when I was putting it back, oh so reluctantly, I said to myself, I'm probably never going to see it again. And once I started going back out to the stores to complete the collection of books that I had not gotten that were signed, this definitely became an issue. I was not able to find it, and I kind of felt that the time had passed and I just had to move on. And that was this book. Now, before anyone says anything, please note, this is not a Donald Trump signed book. Although, in all fairness, even if it was, I would still want it, because whether you like him or not, he is the President of the United States. And a presidential signature is actually very hard to get. Especially after they become president, everybody wants to collect the presidential signature. So if it was Donald Trump, I would be okay with that, because it would be a presidential signature. I have a Barack Obama signature. It would look very great side by side. And, I like collecting autographs, and the presidential autographs are way harder to get. So it would be of value to me. But it's not. This is actually written by Alec Baldwin and Kirk Anderson. And this is a parody book. In fact, the notes indicated that this was written pretty much right away after Trump won the election. Which, I've got some personal things like, how can you really properly spoof the guy's presidency before it's started? But that's what they did. And I do like Alec Baldwin. I think he's a talented actor and he's very funny. And yeah, his politics are not to my liking for the most part. But you know what? Whose is in Hollywood? And this was the one that because I do love autographs from actors. And Alec Baldwin is an Academy Award nominated actor. And that's kind of like my dream goal, is one day to have autographs of all the Academy Award winning actors and actresses and directors and stuff. Potentially even some of the nominees. So to have a signature from an Academy Award nominee is a big deal in my opinion. And inside the book, it's kind of funny. It looks like a real presidential book, but as you can see, the signature is not on its own page, and you can barely read it, so this is definitely one you got to take on faith. And also, to be perfectly honest, I saw that there were other Alec Baldwin books, like biographies and stuff. I would have much rather have had a copy of one of those signed, because it's him, not him portraying Donald Trump. So, that you kind of got to deal with that sometimes. And I mean, again, it really hurt me. It really hurt me to put this book down at Barnes & Noble on Black Friday, because I had a feeling I would not be able to find it, and I was not able to find it, but it was under the Christmas tree. And I think it was because Katie realized, Katie's my significant other for the record, realized that I really wanted it, but it was not in the budget, so she found a way to get it for me behind my back, and, that's great, and I wish she was here to share the video with me, but, and she came with me on the Black Friday sale and kind of took note of the books that I had in my pile and which ones I put back. Because if I put them in the pile, it meant that I wanted them. But if I put them back, it meant that I couldn't afford them. And so she was the one who got me all these books. And so these are the 3 books I got signed. And there were no signed movie autographs or card autographs this year. Just books. But that's fine. Again, it's a thought that counts. And even though Anna Faris was honestly kind of a surprise for me, because I'm kind of only okay with her, to be honest. It's nice to have an actor's autograph, but Lois Lowry and Alec Baldwin were definitely big deals for me, so thank you to the people who got them for me. And starting next week, we will start having vlogs where I will go to Barnes & Noble and I will look at the books that we have missed. The signed books that I missed getting, that I wanted, and see if we can't still find them. In the meantime, what about you guys? Did you get any autographs for Christmas? Did you get any of these signed books that you wanted? I would love to know. Comment below, like, favorite, share, subscribe. If you enjoy the videos I make, consider becoming a Patreon member for $1 a month. And as always, flame responsibly. Have a good one.